God bless you,
Hello.
everyone.
God bless you, everyone. We're
I have a
reading Genesis.
God
No,
bless
oh my
you.
gosh, Genesis. Exodus chapters 13 and 14 today
Mm.
with our special guest Sonia reading for us.
the diaper with the Elmer and with the Elmo and the Mickey Mouse bag.
Mm.
Oh, listen.
Nice
Okay.
shopping.
Take it away, Sonia, whenever you are ready.
Exodus chapter 13. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Consecrate to me all the firstborn, whatever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and beast, it is mine. And Moses said to the people, Remember this day in which you went out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand the Lord brought you out of this place. No leavened bread shall be eaten. On this day you are going out, in the month Abib. And it shall be, when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall keep this service in this month. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the seventh day there shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and no leavened bread shall be seen among you, nor shall leaven be seen among you in all your quarters. And you shall tell your son in that day, saying, This is done because of what the Lord did for me when I came up from Egypt. It shall be as a sign to you on your hand, and as a memorial between your eyes, that the Lord's law may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand the Lord has brought you out of Egypt. You shall therefore keep this ordinance in its season from year to year. And it shall be, when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to you and your fathers, and gives it to you, that you shall set apart to the Lord all that open the womb, that is, every firstborn that comes from an animal which you have. The males shall be the Lord's. But every firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb, and if you will not redeem it, then you shall break its neck. And all the firstborn of man among your sons you shall redeem. So it shall be, when your son asks you in time to come, saying, What is this? That you shall say to him, By strength of hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh was stubborn about letting us go, that the Lord killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all males that open the womb, but all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. It shall be as a sign on your hand, and as frontlets between your eyes, for by strength of hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt. Then it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, Lest perhaps the people change their minds when they see war, and return to Egypt. So God led the people around by way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up in orderly ranks out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had placed the children of Israel under solemn oath, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here with you. So they took their journey from Succoth, and camped in Etham at the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. He did not take away the pillar of cloud by day, or the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Exodus chapter 14. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they turn and camp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea, opposite Baal-zephon. You shall camp before it by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, They are bewildered by the land, the wilderness has closed them in. Then I will harden Pharaoh's heart, so that he will pursue them, and I will gain honor over Pharaoh and over all his army, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. and they did so. Now it was told the king of Egypt that the people had fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, "Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us?" So he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. Also, he took 600 choice chariots and all the chariots of Egypt with captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued the children of Israel, and the children of Israel went out with boldness. So the Egyptians pursued them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, his horsemen and his army, and overtook them camping by the sea beside Pi Hahiroth, before Baal Zephon. And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Israel lifted their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. So they were very afraid, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord. Then they said to Moses, "Because there were no graves in Egypt, have you taken us away to die in the wilderness? Why have you so dealt with us, to bring us up out of Egypt? Is this not the word that we told you in Egypt, saying, 'Let us alone that we may serve the Egyptians'? For it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness." And Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see again no more forever. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace." And the Lord said to Moses, "Why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward. But lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I indeed will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. So I will gain honor over Pharaoh and over all his army, his chariots, and his horsemen. Then the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gained honor for myself over Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen." And the angel of God, who went before the camp of Israel, moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before them and stood behind them. So it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. Thus it was a cloud and darkness to the one, and it gave light by night to the other, so that the one did not come near the other all that night. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. So the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea on the dry ground, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went after them into the midst of the sea, all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. Now it came to pass, in the morning watch, that the Lord looked down upon the army of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and cloud, and he troubled the army of the Egyptians. And he took off their chariot wheels, so that they drove them with difficulty. And the Egyptians said, "Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come back upon the Egyptians, on their chariots, and on their horsemen." And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. And when the morning appeared, the sea returned to its full depth, while the Egyptians were fleeing into it. So the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. Then the waters returned and covered the chariots, the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. Not so much as one of them remained. But the children of Israel had walked on dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. So the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore. Thus Israel saw the great work which the Lord had done in Egypt. So the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses.
Amen.
You're muted.
I put every time you do the Bible thing, I put it big, and then once I went back to the chat, everybody's gone. It's okay.
I
I know.
know.
We just went over probably one of my favorite verses of all time. Probably like
Me
one of my
too.
top 10.
From Moses' part when he separated the seed.
hmm
I like that part. I just find this so powerful
Why you
of the
find it
Lord.
powerful?
Cause how Lord comes for us right on time. He's like always on time, right when we think we're trapped and right when we think that there's no way out. He always shows a way out and he always comes on time. And it's like he doesn't allow nothing to defeat us. He always traps the enemy from coming from for us if we obey, if we commit and be consistent with faith and prayer and following his will. It's like he always shows up for us. And it's just beautiful. It's so amazing. Because they all thought that they couldn't get out. They all looked at it like, oh my God, where do we go from here? Moses is like, God, what should I do? He's like, put the stick down. Like, do this. Put it down. Put it down.
I love your interpretation. Put the stick down. I'm
Yes.
sorry. We're not laughing at you. We just love your interpretation. Put the stick down.
Yes. Like, put it
Wave it
down.
over the water.
Yes, right now. So you shall see your God. Amen. You see, the Lord is so good.
Mhm.
And he always surprises us. Y'all look like y'all got so much to say. I could see it. I could feel it. It's coming. Spit it out. I could see it.
Your
Y'all
camera's
like,
off.
I know because I feel hurt. I
Okay.
don't want to be in camera today.
Okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay because we are showing them that we are humans and no matter yes, no, feel good, no, feel good, we are here for the
I
Lord.
don't want to be captured looking like this.
Look, I've been captured on the camera looking a lot of ways, but that's okay.
Y'all look good. Y'all look okay. Y'all look
Whatever. You over here with your bata everywhere, and now you.
exactly.
Right. Yes.
I learned. I learned.
Brittany, you was raising your hand.
Oh no, I was not raising my hand.
Oh, I think you was raising.
You know you was. You know you want to spit it. Spit it.
Yeah, sure. You
Vamos.
guys really sure?
Vamos.
Okay. Y'all better be ready. Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Chapter 13, right? So the law of the firstborn, when he was saying that, like, first son, first beast, and it made me think about how Jesus was the firstborn
Mm-hmm.
and his
Always,
family
I
tree.
always come back to that.
Jesus was the firstborn of that family tree. And the Lord said, give me your first.
Mm.
And especially when he says that if it cannot be redeemed, then break its neck, meaning he
Wait,
gave his life.
repeat that verse because I didn't catch that.
Because it says from 13, but every firstborn donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. But if you cannot redeem it, then you shall break its neck. That
Mm.
part remind me of the crucifixion. Like, if it's not us of har, if it's in the only way Jesus measured up for us was to lay down his life. Now he didn't physically break his neck, but he gave his life on the cross. And I feel like this was the first blurb of 13 was what we can call what it looks like as the first Passover that was happening like post Egypt. They were free for the first night. They were free for the first night. But then I have highlighted. I have highlighted. Oh, 21. And the Lord before by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead by way and a fire by night.
Mhm.
And it just showed how, like, to me, it showed to me that God has dual personalities, like a cloud. He's nurturing, loving, um, what's the word? Encouraging, but like a fire, he's also bold, strong, judgment, purification. He is both at once, and because he is our Lord, he is capable of doing both at once. He is
Mm,
capable of loving you deeply, but also kicking
correct
your
you.
butt when you need what you need to get, you know? He can love you and correct you,
When he
and he can
corrects
lovingly
you,
correct you.
it's because of how much he loves you.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, chapter 14 really brought me back to the lesson I taught you guys during the fast, and it reminded me of it and then some.
Mhm.
So, I'm going to repeat a little bit of it because I know you two heard it. But, like, for example, we talk about chapter 14, and I just see a group of people who've been so traumatically triggered that they don't know how to function without their oppressor.
Mm.
That's
And it's hard to function sometimes as a person when, let's say, you're dealing with a narcissistic person. You've been through such trauma, and the only thing you know how to do is identify or attach yourself only with such trauma. Or you're so and so's loved one, and that so and so loved one has a really bad reputation, not so good one, and you feel like you can't get out of their shadow. It really reminded me and really, like, narrowed down that you can only heal from your traumas. You can only start your road of recovery when you say you're ready.
And when you acknowledge,
And when you acknowledge, because at the moment they're afraid, thinking that they're going to get entrapped again, and they're like, I was better off where I was living. I would have rather been
sometimes
being, I
I,
would have rather worked double labor.
I
I
feel
would
like
have rather been enslaved and tortured than to be out here and not know. They were so afraid of the unknown that
it's like
they couldn't
something you
comprehend
said.
the other side.
It's something like you said too. Some people are immune to that lifestyle, and when they don't have it and they get bored, it's like they're so comfortable of
Right. You
being,
become so comfortable, becomes your normal, and your
it
thought
becomes
process
your
of
normal, and then it's harder to fight it off because when you don't see it anymore, when you're not around it anymore, you feel like hopeless. Like, what else do I do?
hmm
I have no one to pick on. I have nothing to complain about. Not knowing that you've been delivered and you
right,
back, I mean, you pick it back up,
right.
and then you're back in the same trap, and then
So like
way out.
so like chapter 10 through 12 of like this chapter remind me of a person who either is identified stronghold with their trauma, or they're so wounded by it they don't even know what it's like to even separate from it or how to let it go.
Yeah.
So then we go through another part of recovery, where it's like verse 13. And the people said, do not be afraid, stand still, see the salvation of the Lord, and he shall accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom see today, you shall never see them again forever. I feel like that portion of recovery for me reminds me of the time when you start to acknowledge the trauma, you start to call it for whatever it is, you realize that it's not healthy for you, and you're willing to start to let go. It's kind of like you got the knife in your hand halfway, but you're not fully trying to let go yet, but you recognize that it's hurting you. Whatever sets in, or said trauma or said problem you're going through. And it's then like my favorite verse, my favorite verse, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you, and you only need to hold your peace. That alone is one of my favorite verses because it relates to only almost all the situations that I go through on a daily life basis, where you got money issues, let the Lord fight your battles. You're fighting with someone who doesn't see your point of view, let the Lord fight your battles. Something sporadically out of your control, don't try to fix it, let the Lord fight your battles. You feel like you don't know how to go about your trauma, tell the Lord, I don't know how to do this. Let him fight your battles and have you walk through it. So like it really touched me. And then 15 15 almost made me chuckle because he was like, why are you when he's like, everyone's like, what do we do? What do we do? He goes, why are you crying to me? You already know what to do. Like, come on. And that for me reminds me of where I am today. Like, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. And he's like, baby girl, you already know what you're supposed to be doing. And sometimes it could be as simple as let it go. And you're just like, I don't know what to do. Let it go. But tell me why, because it hurts so much. And that just reminds me of any situation. I always gave this analogy: pretend that you're holding a knife in the serrated hand, in the serrated side, and you're asking the Lord to take it away, and He's like, okay, so let it go. So you just like to open your hand, but then you start to white knuckle like, no, tell me what to do, let it go. Let it go. But I can't let it go. Well, I can't pull it out your hand because you're gonna end up bleeding and needing stitches. So the only thing that I can help you with is give me the knife. Give it to me, because your only choices are you give it to me or you get stitches. I love you enough that I don't want to get you stitches. So let it go. So like that part really helps me. And then that's kind of like when you start that release progress, that's when I see like the Red Sea. And you are covered from the left, from the right, where the angel of God is guarding your back and the Lord is following in your front, and like you're standing in the middle and you're guarded on all four sides. And that's what I feel like what a woman looks like when she's walking in her promise. She's not worried about the left nor the right, nor what's in her past, nor what's in her future. She's only focused on walking through the sea and not worrying about what's on the other side or what she left behind.
Mhm.
So it really reminded me of that lesson that I taught when a woman's be like, what happened to promised land? What happened to my blessing? What happened to my happy ending? What happened to my peace? I feel like my breakthrough never have came. I feel like I'm always fighting a war that it's never ending. Part of it is sometimes it's soul work that you got to see what you need. Sometimes there's an issue that you desperately need to let go of and don't want to let go. And then sometimes it's I need to let the Lord fight my battles and I need to take the back seat so then I could be the one who's just walking through the path. And sometimes we be so stubborn that we like the Lord's looking at you like all you gotta do is walk. No heavy lifting. Like you don't gotta sit there, you don't gotta hold the light, you don't gotta let the weight, like just walk, dude. That's all you gotta do. And I think it's so funny that the Lord gives us the most simplest things, but it's the most hardest thing for us to do.
That's a fact.
It's the most simplest thing to do, but yet we have the most hardest time to do
Mhm.
it. And I laugh because I'm just like, Lord, you must look at us like, you guys are so hard-headed. You guys are making it more complicated than what it is. I promise you, it's not that complicated. And when you get to know the Lord's personality, it's really not that complicated.
Mhm.
It's really not. It's ourselves that complicates it for ourselves.
Mhm.
But I thank you, Lord, that you made it not so complicated. and help us to uncomplicate the complicated, because it doesn't have to be that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It really does. Like, he's looking at us like, dude, just walk. I don't know what to do. You're just standing there. Baby girl, just take a few
Like,
steps.
sink it in. Sink it
But
in.
there's water around it. I'm gonna drown. You're not gonna drown. Just walk. I feel like the amount of times that I'm gonna drown. If you stop looking at the water and stop looking back and just walk, camina, like just walk. And I feel like when we go left field, we just decided to be like, ooh, and put our face in the water, and they're like, what was that? No one told you to put the face in the water. I don't know why it wouldn't possess you to do that. You decided to get real curious and start looking around. No one told you to do that. Just walk. Like, that's you too busy fraternizing, trying to look at the fish, and you don't even know that you were supposed to be walking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one who's always stuck in looking at the fish. I need to start walking.
Me too. Me too.
And those sometimes you'd be distracted by the craziest thing. It could be an issue that's as big as a shark, and you're just like, whoa, do you see that? And he's like, yeah, I see it. And, but did you see that? You know, like when Squirt and Nemo, like, did you see that? Did you see that? And you're just like, and, okay, cool, let's
Mm.
go. But did you see that? Oh gosh, now we're gonna have to be here there for a minute. She's obsessed with the shark. We're gonna have to be here for a minute. You start chasing. Don't go fishing for problems. Just walk. That's my lesson today.
It's funny.
It's funny, but it's not. It's real.
No, it is real. You're right. You're right. It's
I just have a really funny way about putting it together.
100% facts. Okay.
It's so crazy. And then 30, they're like, oh, now I understand. Now I see.
I don't know why
It's
she's
like, you,
closing if she could just join.
I know. Now I see. Now you see. You should have been walking in the first place. I've been trying to get here 2 weeks ago, but you
That's a
didn't.
fact. That is a fact.
Now you see, we
And
could have
it's
been
taking so
here like 3
long.
weeks ago, honey.
It's taking long because you're taking your sweet time being nosy.
Right. I feel like, for example, I don't mean to put you out there, but like for your house, if you were like, kind of, he like, if you didn't just start monkeying around and just focused on me, you could have gotten this, you know? That's for like me. I have to start micromanaging every little thing that happens. I would be a lot more peaceful.
Can someone add grandma's phone to this so that mom
I
can
got you.
join? She can't. She's trying to join. She can't join. Like the mother.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you very much, y'all. Okay.
It's calling. Emily got disconnected. Should I call her back?
Yeah, go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she missed my portion, but that's okay. I'll tell her
Gotcha.
again.
She
I'll
can
tell her
watch
again.
the video.
Here. I can see you.
Amen.
There you go.
I already talked about my portion. So Jolie's gonna talk about her portion.
Yeah.
My phone died. I'm so sorry. I had to take a shower.
I'm gonna be honest, we
So
went through
sorry.
the reading and I talked about my portion, Jolie's on her portion.
Oh, perfect. Perfect timing.
Start. Okay.
Okay.
So for chapter 13, just to reiterate the verse that I'm gonna talk about. So verse 3 in chapter 13,
Okay.
it says, "And Moses said to the people, remember this day in which you went out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. By strength of hand, the Lord brought you out of this place. No leavened bread shall be eaten." So to me, the way this was being said to me, this chapter 13 and chapter 14 was ministering to me. I don't know, but the way I saw it was, remember this day in every day where the Lord brought you out of. Remember where you came from. Remember what you were, who you used to be. Remember how you used to act. Remember all of it, but
Amen.
remind yourself constantly of the one who brought you out of it. Remind yourself
Basically, don't get an
constantly.
ego.
Yep. Don't remind yourself constantly of the one who changed you. So, but then at the end of it, at the end of that verse where it said, "No leavened bread shall be eaten," that part right there
Amen.
reminded me of the process of making sourdough. Now, I don't know if any of you know the process of making sourdough starter.
I do.
I know you do. The way I see it, I'm gonna use my cup as an example, right? You obviously have to start with like some type of jar or whatever. So the jar or this cup, for example, is the vessel. You are this cup. You are the vessel. And so throughout time, you continue to feed it and feed it and feed it. But a sourdough starter won't rise unless it's
You
in the right
yeast.
environment. Amen. You
Amen.
understand?
Yeah, it doesn't rise without it fermenting, and without fermentation, it just dies. It doesn't even grow.
You don't feed it the right. If you don't feed it every day, if you
The
don't feed it
word.
every day,
Mm.
it starts to die. It starts not to rise, not to what she was saying, ferment and grow, and
Mm.
you just stay dead and stink.
And then you just got some nasty, can't even make mess.
I was just like, ooh, right?
Did you see Jane today? No.
No. Oh no. Jane's gone. I
Oh, Jane's
I
gone.
made her already. She's gone.
Oh, so you gotta make a new child.
You mean and then
So,
verse 8 and 13 it says, you shall tell your son in that day, saying, this is done. So you know how earlier, Brittany, you were saying how in this chapter it's dedicating the firstborn child and how it reminded you of Jesus being
Yeah, yeah,
dedicated
yeah.
as the firstborn child. I feel like that was a foreshadowing to that, but then also it was a foreshadowing of the Lord, because it happened right after the verse said, if the what was it, if the donkey
Oh, you want me to read it for you? I got it underlined.
yeah, go ahead.
But every firstborn of the donkey you shall redeem it with a lamb. And if you cannot redeem it, then you shall break its neck. Like if you don't got sin, if you got sin and you only got a donkey, you gotta redeem it with the lamb. But if you cannot redeem it, then you have to break it. If you can't redeem your neck, you can't redeem your sin. It's like you're broken. Your neck is broken.
Hmm. And then right after that, it says, tell your son in that day, this is done. It reminded me of, once that happens, say, your son will say, this is finished. It is finished. That's what it reminded me.
Mhm.
I was just like, ooh.
Well, we have the same note. Awesome. I'm sorry. I'm just excited.
Okay.
mm.
And then another thing that caught my attention was that the Lord purposely took them the long way. He was just like, no, because I know if they take the short route, I know the, what is it, the Philistines? That's where they were heading to. The Philistines, I think so.
Jolie, move closer so you can sound louder.
What's wrong with this? Um,
There you go.
They were headed to, I think, the Philistines, the land of the Philistines, and the Lord decided to take the people the long route instead of a week's journey purposely, because he was just like, if the journey is too short or they figure out they do the easy way, they're just gonna return back to their old ways.
Mm.
And then which was that? Where was that? And then the last thing that caught my attention in this chapter was when it said, and Moses took, after everyone left, and Moses took the bones of Joseph with him.
What? Someone's staticky. I'm taking over the audio.
I don't know, but yes, Joseph, the Joseph from 400 and something years ago, he
Yeah, they took his
took the
carcass.
bones. What? How did he know to take the bones? How was the bones still there? That was my question.
Honestly, you know what that was my question was? How did they know it was the right bones?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I'm just saying, how did they know it was the right bones?
how
Let's be
did they
real.
know to even do that? Like, was there an inscription?
I think earlier it said in Exodus that he, oh, well, no, not Exodus, or Genesis, that he was embalmed. Like, you know, like the embalmment of what they do for pharaohs, that he was embalmed, so he was preserved. So that means he probably had some type of tomb
Yeah,
that they
but
could
like,
know,
did
like,
he
that's
leave
him.
a letter? Like, how did they know to take your carcass on this journey?
Well, I don't know if there was a will left. Maybe the Lord told him.
So that's what I was curious about. Now, 14.
14 slaps. I'm just gonna say
It
that.
does slap. Oh my gosh. So, right, the first thing that caught my attention is that right in the beginning of verse 14, you have the children of Israel already leaving Egypt, right? And then you have Pharaoh and his servants all in their castle, whatever, and they're seeing them leave, and they're just like, oh, the children of Israel, they're fleeing. They fled. Excuse me, you let them go. How did that switch up real quick?
He's like, how are you gonna go from letting them go to like, oh no, they're running,
That's what I'm
they're
saying. So
running.
you let them
That's the
go.
definition of being an Indian giver.
And then literally it says in that moment that their minds shifted. Like the moment they saw them leaving, immediately they were just like, how can we do this? No, we didn't do this. They're leaving. They're leaving on their own accord. Like how you just switch up, like that's just me. Right. And then we go to the part where they're finally across, they're in a campsite in front of the what is it, the Red Sea? I don't know. Yes, the Red Sea. They're at a
Yes.
campsite in front of the Red Sea, and they see all the chariots of the Pharaoh coming towards them. The moment that happens, they start crying to Moses, saying, look what you did to us. We would have been better off dying in Egypt. Now you brought us thousands of miles away, and we're going to die at their hands anyways. Look at you. In that moment, I didn't see them crying out and complaining to Moses, because Moses was not the one to help you escape from Egypt. He was just an instrument that helped you get out of there. It was the
He was a
Lord
prophet.
who
They
was
should have talked to God before the prophet.
exactly.
He's
You
just a
were
mouthpiece.
complaining to God. God, why did you get us out of Egypt? God, why did you take me out of bondage? Why did you free me?
You know, that was one thing that a pastor said in one of my pastors said in one of those sermons, that they decided to complain to man instead of going and petitioning to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, don't you see that it's a sign of disrespect?
It is. Because mind you,
And it is little disrespectful, not gonna lie.
It is because, mind you, because Moses is being used by God, when you disrespect a man of God or a woman of God, it's not them you're disrespecting. You're disrespecting God that's being used by them.
I'm gonna be honest, that just shows how patient the Lord is. Because he could have been like, what you talking about? Who you talking to? Delete.
Delete is wild. And then I
He really could. If he wanted to.
and then I give it to Moses because in that moment, he was trying to keep them calm and he was trying to keep their faith afloat where he was just like, stand still. Not literally, but stand still in a way of like, keep your faith stable. Keep your faith still. That way it is unmovable. And yet they were still crying out.
I'm sorry. You said in that Moses, and it makes me the time that I try to say library.
In that
I'm
Moses.
sorry. Library.
Liberian. That was getting me. Anyways, that's off topic. That's off.
I'm
So
so sorry.
in that moment, you have the children of Israel crying at this moment, crying in desperation as to, oh, we're gonna die. We're trapped now. You brought us here for no reason. But I want to remind you what it says in chapter 13 in verse 22, where it says, he did not take away the pillar of cloud by day or the pillar of fire by night before the people. What, what does that tell you? That tells me that while they're crying, the Lord is literally saying, why are you crying? I'm right here. I didn't go anywhere. The pillar of cloud is still there in the midst of them while they're crying out. So while the Lord is literally in front of them, right next to them, they're just crying.
Mhm.
And then it reminds me of us. How many times that we're in a troubling situation or we're dealing with a lot of problems in our life, and yet we're crying out to God, what should we do? I can't take this anymore. But the Lord is right there. He's right there the whole time.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
then
yeah.
it's funny because
All the
they're like,
time.
oh, when in the moment when you feel like the world is gaining on you, like the Egyptians were gaining on the Israelites, the Lord is pretty much like, don't worry, I'm here. And then what does the Lord do in that moment? It says he places the cloud behind them and then sets himself in between the children of Israel and the Egyptians. So he's just like, you're so distracted by the problem. I'm going to set myself in the middle of it so that way you can keep your eyes on what I'm telling you to do and not the problem. I'm going to handle the problem. You focus on what I'm telling you. You, Moses, lift up your rod and stretch out your hand so the sea can split. Now, everyone move forward. I'm telling
Mhm.
you to obey my voice. While I'm handling your problem, I'm telling you to do what I'm telling you to do. Obey my voice. Move forward. Keep going. I'm the one in control of the problem. Listen, right? So then, what's beautiful to me is that while this is going on, they finally start moving in the midst of the water, right? While they're moving in the midst of the water, the Egyptians are right behind them, still chasing them with horses and stuff. But the Lord was silent the entire time. But while he was silent, what was happening? The cloud was still shifting in the back to break the wheels of the chariots. So while the children of Israel are obeying what the Lord said, but they can't hear him, he's not speaking to them anymore. He's silent on them because he's busy working on the problem that you're still distracted about.
Mm.
Beautiful. So they finally reached their destination, right? They finally reached their destination, and then the children of Israel, that's when they hear from the Lord again. And that was exactly what the Lord was telling them. You will know when you are free. When you are free.
Mhm.
Wild. Crazy.
Mm.
That's it. That's all I got. I'm taking a
No,
note.
no. I was talking. What she was talking about.
You're on mute. I
She
don't
was
hear
talking.
you if you talking.
You don't hear me?
No, her.
What's
She
her?
she talking.
You muted. You
No, I was asking if we're
muted.
still recording.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
you muted. Right? You good?
Hmm?
No. Dolly was talking about that the Lord was telling the people from Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
About that to don't. It's like don't worry about nothing because He got this. He's the one that fights the battle. He's the one that when you're going through trouble, tribulations, going through stress and everything you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Always trust on him, focus on him. Always. That's what he always has spoken in the word. So today, early in the morning, I was reading about it too. When she was telling me about, I told her what verse is it so I could look and see. But I was also going more further than that también. And pero casi ya sé the whole thing. Both of y'all was talking about it, and I was like, wow, the same thing he was talking about. Like let the people como quien dice, how you say, like always don't focus in yourself, don't focus in your problem, don't focus in everything you're going through. Just focus on God.
The funny,
You know?
the reason why this touched me is because when I read this chapter, this is how I heard it. I heard the Lord trying to like pretty much saying to me, "Oh, don't focus about everything else that's going on in your life.
Around you
Focus
too.
on what I'm telling you to do.
Yes.
Focus on telling you. I mean, focus on doing on the process I told you to do, on the instruction I gave you. What did I tell you to do? I told you to tell your testimony, didn't I? I told you to keep moving forward and preaching my word, didn't I? Why are you
Hmm.
not doing that? Why you focus on other things? Why you focus on other people?
Yep.
Do what I told you to do. And everything, I'll take care of
Exactly.
the rest. I'll take care of your financial problems. I'll take care of this and this and that. Don't worry. But yeah, that's what I think.
And not only that, I remember when I went to outing with Malin, and I told and all this time, Pastora sitting behind me while we was hearing testimony of Jolie. Remember, as Estel's sister's daughter.
Hmm.
So she was giving a testimony about her whole life, everything she went through. She said, "If this touched you, and you went through familiar about what I went through, come to the front so we could pray for you." So this whole time when I went to the front, I just prayed and I said, God, I want you to speak to me. Speak to me. And that whole time, you know, I was telling God, God, I'm leaving everything behind. I'm not gonna think about nothing. I'm just gonna focus on you and I wanna change, I wanna do your will and everything. So all of a sudden she started speaking to me, but she said something. she said something. She started saying, I don't know what I should say, pero yo sé que she said that the person I'm with is not for me. And God said that if that person doesn't fix himself, that he was going to take him out of my life. And he said, don't worry. You don't have to worry about nothing because when you was serving me in the other church, you never, tú nunca te faltó nada. Like you never suffer from nothing else. You had everything. You was focusing on me. You was doing my will. You was serving me. And you know that you don't have to worry about nothing because with me, you have everything. And you don't have to worry about your kids because I got them in my hands.
Amen.
They're going to come back. They're going to come back. And I'm like, God, my worry is about the boys. And then when I was reading this, he was saying, stop worrying about it. I got this. Like, I could do this. So you don't have to. And I said, wow. So I kept on hearing what you were saying, and I was like, wow, the same thing. Like, all I said to God was, I'll leave it all in your hands. I'm not going to like worry too much. I'm not going to try to focus on that no more. So I said, God, I'm going to trust you. And all I got to do is just pray more, get into you more, get more into the word, and try to go to church and bring my mom with me, even though she's the way she is, but I gotta bring her with me, even if I have to bring the wheelchair, but I'll bring her with me.